I just gonna say a few words about Vajrayana, about what we do in Vajrayana. In Vajrayana, three approaches or three processes to how to navigate our experience called life, self, and the world. Three processes. So first one is how we view the world and the self. What does that call? Technical term. That's called, I translate outlook or view, tawa in Tibetan. We've been practicing the sacred outlook, how we view the world, how we view ourselves, and also how we view our own life, our own experience. So that is called tawa. So what's the tawa? What's the view in Vajrayana? We start with a view, no? We go to the top of the mountain, so to speak. Then I like this way. Then I can see all the vistas, wide, vast vista. We start out with that meditation, rested in tawa, view, emptiness, and conjoined with great bliss in the case of highest yoga tantra. Then the second one, how we cultivate skills and capacity. What is it? What's the technical term? How we do it, how we cultivate and skill. Actual practice, no? In this case, meditation. But how about the third one? Third one is how the understanding, this understanding of view and practice takes place in the world. So we are not having a view for the sake of view. We want to use it, no? We want to manifest it. We want to enact the view in the world. That's why we're here, no? So what's that called in Vajrayana? So technically, this called behavior or conduct. So view, meditation, conduct. Usually those three listing. So in this case, compassion, ongoing compassionate response to the suffering of the world. Based on this tawa, view, and then practice of meditation. Transformation is the key in Vajrayana. Transform who we think we are and how we experience that who we are, how we hold the world. Then based on we enact. It's important to be aware of this dance or the fine line with Vajrayana is seeing the true nature, seeing the truth in terms of appearance, apparent reality, relative truth. It's true, but only apparently true. And yet, being able to see the innate nature, innate and true nature, or absolute or ultimate nature, or innate purity, primordial perfection of all that is. This dance always here between the relative truth and absolute truth, or apparent reality and genuine reality. Only Buddha, perfectly awakened one, can hold both together without contradictions. But in Vajrayana, we are practicing that to whatever extent we can do. So we don't negate or we don't push any of that. Like in spiritual traditions, historically, we go into the one extreme. We go for absolute truth. And relative truth is just relative. It's called kunzop. A translation itself is a very negative connotation. Deceptive truth, but it's true to that reality. All the sentient beings, maybe rest of us, living in that reality. So we don't ignore that. Whatever happening right now in the world is a big part of in our awareness. So for that, we really important to rediscover our awakened qualities or innate purities through this Idan deity practice and the Sok practice and all these skillful means which Vajrayana provide, so that we can transform the habitual patterns. Actually, this deceptive reality is deceptive, habitual patterns, projections based on many things and the social conditions and the inheritance since the beginning of time. We know some masters, some sages pierced through that veil and come to this understanding, this holding both as a truth. then come out of that, shine out of that realization, became an ambassador, immense and benevolent ambassador. We are here because we are so inspired by becoming like them. In Vajrayana, especially now we're going into the Idam practice and also the talk practice, there are lots of visualization, and you might wonder about how can I accomplish all this visualization and the sequence and so forth, practice. But don't worry about that. We are not going after sparkling, clear imageries. Of course, that will come. Your mind become more open, and then keep practicing, trusting your innate capacity. Your mental capacity is so vast, we will surprise. You can train into anything. So just trust it in the confidence. But most important thing is this transformation, I think, that transform the way we experience the world and ourselves. So in other words, we are training in this pure view, and also I call the sacred dignity. Sometimes translate divine pride, who you think you are. So during this retreat, I want you to kind of focus, not only just on the cushion. Actually, this is the beauty of practice. 24 hours, day and night, you can practice. And nobody knows what you're doing. So that's the beauty of Vajrayana. Yeah, we integrate everything. Whatever we do, when we eat, of course, that's become a real sok offering. We are offering the deities reside in our body, in every channels and chakras. And whatever you hear, like today, middle of the transmission, I heard the neighbor's car going. Okay, mantra. Idan deities mantras, they just added a little vividness, clarity, or the nice flavors and that appearance. They enjoy. If you notice the mental affliction or strong emotions comes up, don't push away. You remember yesterday we were talking about the Vajrayana approach without pushing. Then you can see this one as okay, anger. Interesting. If you're practicing Dakinis, then maybe expression of this Vajra Dakinis, or Akshobhya, or deities, awaken mind, awaken quality, something like that. So that's called a kind of transformation. And also karmic pattern as well, because we are working on the subtle body simultaneously. So thing is the flow of prana, vital energy, vital wind, and awareness, emotion, conflict emotion, mind, so-called mind, everything. We are talking about the same thing, mental level, subtle body level, and the physical level. Everything working simultaneously. But anyway, we have these 5 ways to look at our beings, and all are simultaneously happening. Karmic patterns also loosening up, transforming simultaneously through this Vajrayana practice, which means completion stage and generation stage we are practicing together.